Right now, I'd like to meet some people. You probably know them better as the zombies.
I've never worked out if the zombies are lucky or unlucky because we were around at the right time. Well, no one told me about some groups of people just click.
It was luck, really. You met these 5 people and we got on.
It's unrecognised, man.
Yeah, totally different. You look totally different too.
Thanks.
We wanted to be a little bit more adventurous.
Do something exciting and different. We just kept feeding off each other creatively.
It sounded really quite special.
One of our favorite songs ever.
After the recording of this album, the zombies broke up.
It was really unfortunate what happened to us.
Someone was making a fortune. It certainly wasn't us.
It's a legacy left behind, and it's a legacy that will go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're here today to talk about a fantastic documentary which is just hit theaters near you about a wonderful band from the 1960s, one of the most iconic bands of the British invasion, in my opinion, the Zombies. The film is called Hung Up on a Dream. It's directed by musician, actor extraordinaire, and as well as a really good director, Robert Schwartzman. Robert, say hello.
Hey, how are you? How are you, world?
There you go. And with me today is the talented Miss Dr. Gina Delgado. The doctor is in.
Hello.
Guys.
Hey,
Hi, Gina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah, she's a doctor, guys. It's true. Now, Gina, I want you to start us off because you had a really good question about the film in general that I want you to ask.
Yeah, here, I gotta get my handy dandy notebook.
Perfect.
Here. So, now that I saw the movie, like, and I had to like go and rewind a couple times here and there.
Yeah.
Right. But I want to start off with my synesthesia question. Will, it's gonna happen.
Perfect.
When I watch or listen to music and as I'm ingesting it, right, I have synesthesia. I feel different colors and different styles of music. And so, as I was going through it, like, for example, the time of the season to me feels like a velvety purple with orange notes, right? And Rooney sounds like seafoam green with goldenrod yellows, right?
Love that.
So for you, right, what was it like? Do you have any sort of feelings when you listen to their songs, right? Like anything that comes up that is every time you listen?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Well, it comes up visually or just like emotionally?
Emotionally, visually?
Well, I mean, Chris White said something, the bass player from the Zombies, that music, it's sort of like there are bookmarks in your life with music.
Mm-hmm.
Or songs are sort of bookmarks of your life. And like, even with Rooney, with my band Rooney, like I meet like people that come out to the show who say, oh, I listened to you, you remind me of blah, blah, blah point in my life, or, oh, it's so high school when I was in high school. Obviously, if you're like still a band playing, you want you want like an ongoing relationship with the music present day.
Yeah.
But also I understand what it means because I'm a fan of a lot of bands, and when you first heard the band or what it meant to you at that time brings back these moments in your life. So I would drive to school like every day listening to a lot of music, and it was right around the time I started Rooney. I was like in high school, like a junior in high school, and that's when I was really listening to a lot of Zombies music. So what brings it emotionally for me just brings back those days of really becoming a real music, like active listener,
Mm-hmm.
converting that into musical ideas and really paying close attention to songwriting style and technique.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember like feeling like Colin Blunstone's voice like had all these sort of magical powers that I loved in like a singer. It was soft, it was like a fluffy voice, and then it could go hard and like get prickly and exciting,
Yeah.
dangerous. So I don't know, like I mostly think about like the time in my life when I first really became a very deep Zombies listener. It was like a lot of through my high school days in like this was like 1998, 1999, 1999 really. And just listening to it constantly and feeling like this music is like everything I love about pop music. It's like it's got, you know, it's hooky, it's memorable, it's instant, but it's also really clever, smart arrangements, great playing.
Mhm.
I mean, even like the drummer Hugh Grundy of the Zombies,
Yeah.
like has a way, like all the musicians listening when I say this, he just has a certain feel that just feels so complementary to the music. It really helps define the feeling of the Zombies for me too. His loose
Right.
fills, stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, but it's a wonderful memory for me.
I love that. And thank you so much for making this documentary because I feel like you filled in a hole of history that I didn't know, that I didn't grow
Yeah.
up with. And you know, I'm an avid Rooney, Phantom Planet, everybody else, or all those bands, right? Like I'm very and this kind of gave me like light bulb, like
Yeah.
wow, that's where this because the sound is so unique, right? Like that's where it comes from, right? Or at least not it's one of
Yeah,
the
no,
bands.
it is actually, it really is. Like my brother Jason had Phantom Planet, and those guys, I know they're like such big Zombies. They even covered friends of mine.
Yeah.
Like I never did like a Zombies cover, like public. I think actually I did. I played Tell Her No
Oh, that's a
once,
good
Sounds like
cover.
me.
like a long time ago. I played Tell Her No at like a unplugged acoustic-ish set.
Hmm.
But Phantom Planet, I think, released Friends of Mine as like a song. But yeah, I mean, it was like we're just all big. We just love this band so much. Like we're the sort of kids that discovered them in the 90s and then grew up, you know, like sharing their music with the next generation.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this movie is really a way to pass on great stories and great music to the next generation. So I feel like a sense of like responsibility as like a music listener and filmmaker and musician to carry that, pass that on. So
Right.
I
Love
love that. I love that. I have a two-parter for you. First part's real easy. It is clear that this band had a huge influence on your personal music, but also on the music of the early 2000s garage scene in general. Uh, what I'm getting at, what other British invasion bands of the time were hugely influential to you, and how do you think they differ from the Zombies? Bands like Cream and the Kinks, Hollies, things like that.
yeah, I mean, for sure, 60s. I mean, I love the band The Trogs. That's a band that I just, there was something kind of, it's funny because Colin told me yesterday, I was like, do you know what was your thoughts about the Trogs? And he was like, oh, they were so funny. And I was like, I never thought of them as like funny. I was like, oh, really? I thought they were like pretty edgy. I love the Love and Spoonful, I love very much. I'm a big sort of girl group fan in the 60s, the Shirelles, the Crystals, the
it.
Ronettes, the Shangri-Las. But that's not British invasion. I mean,
Good
yeah,
though.
I never like, I like the Hollies and the Yardbirds. I never really like, something about them didn't grab me as much. It wasn't as poppy. I like the Small Faces, like this, like Steve Marriott,
Yeah,
lead singer of the Small Faces. Before the Faces, I like the Faces, but I like the Small Faces. Um, I like you know, ELO is a big band I love, but before ELO, The Move was the band that was Roy Wood and then Jeff Lynne eventually joined, and then they had an idea to create ELO and then went their separate ways. But I love The Move. They're not really shouted out as much of like in that era. Yeah, The Animals,
Yeah.
another great band. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great. Those are the Brit, you know, the Brit bands.
yeah.
Um, there were bands that were a little more like kind of performery, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Freddie and the Dreamers, like, you know, not as much, maybe like Jerry and the Pacemakers, like another Liverpool band, like great vocalist, but just a different, wasn't like really rock and roll. It was more
Hmm.
like almost like the version of crooner meets band kind of thing.
Hmm.
So
The Before I get to the second part, I just gotta say, Colin's voice is absolute velvet sugar, man. I have to
best.
tell
Yes.
you,
Yes.
I've
like
never used the word fluffy when I've said it, but I truly, it's very like round and breathy and marshmallowy.
Yes.
it's wonderful. It is. The second part is every time I've talked to you beforehand, it's been a feature. wanted to ask you the differentiation between doing a feature film and then, presenting a documentary as you are here. What are the challenges that are different? What's different about the filmmaking process for you?
I mean, music, and to me, it's just all making stuff. It's funny when people say, like, give my background in an interview, it's like this, and this, or whatever. I don't, to me, it's just all kind of mixed together. Like it's a big salad of like creative output.
Yeah.
It's all like, I don't really identify with like one aspect of things I love. Like,
You're an artist, like you
it's
create.
just like yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about that. You just kind of get kind of swept up in it. But yeah, like I wanted to make movies, and when I was growing up, when I was literally in elementary school, we were like shooting movies like in our backyard kind of thing, like pretty intensely, like not just like shake wobbly camera, silly kid
Yeah.
movie. It was like, I mean, it was edited pretty intentionally. There was a screenplay. There was like getting props and pulling wardrobe. I mean, it was pretty
I need to
intense,
watch these films because
pretty
that was
intense.
amazing.
So that was the original vision, and then I got swept up into music. Music really caught me off by surprise. I wasn't really expecting to be kind of doing music like this. And then I went back to my first love of filmmaking in like 2015. I kind of paused my being such an active guy in a band touring and wanted to like make movies. So now I'm in this sort of like kind of like split brain mode where I'm just kind of thinking about music sometimes, thinking about film sometimes. But there's a lot of my life has kind of taken on new shapes. Like I founded a film distribution company called Utopia. And now we're like acquiring great movies, releasing them. We've launched some interesting like tech tools, like for filmmakers, like to self-distribute your content. Like this sort of really the whole thing is it's this entrepreneurial spirit. Like I think being an artist and an entrepreneur are kind of similar because you're creating something, like you're sort of dreaming ideas and creating.
Yep.
So I think of myself as like an entrepreneurial like artist where I'm just kind of like also excited about doing things that aren't being done, or like how do you influence and change the industry you're in. So
I have to say, I think that might be your greatest accomplishment is Utopia Films.
oh, thanks.
The amount of game changers you put out in the last few years, Red Rooms, I Used to Be Funny,
Yeah,
Femme, they're all phenomenal films. And I don't know who's behind these decisions that you're making at Utopia, but you guys are making excellent moves. You guys are looking really, the future's really bright for Utopia Films. If you keep this up, I can see you along the same lines of your Neons, your A24s, your Focus Features, those type of studios who are really doing small, important, independent films that make sense and make stories that people want to hear. And I think this is a great example of making a story that people may not have heard, or from a band that may not have heard, but are so important. Everybody hears Time of Season and they know the song, but they don't know who the heck that band is. And I think this shines.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, it's music docs are important. I mean, we encounter a lot of music docs, and I think, my biggest thing is like, a Utopia, a Bleecker, a Magnolia, SPC, whoever it is, could like really love a film. But the next thing is you have to sort of identify like an audience for it. And you have to kind of really try to imagine like, if we put time and money behind something like, not that it's not money driven, but like there has to be some understanding of like what's going to come back, because it's not a one-way street. Like to have a business, there has to be like flow. And the times we're in that are tough is like there's just like there's a lot of like things kind of going through a weird transformation. Like theaters, like do people want to go to theaters? Like content comes directly to your house. It's so readily available. It's tough to like really fight that. Like people sometimes don't want to get in the car and drive to the theater and go see a movie. Like what gets you out of the house? So that would be like identifying an audience that really cares enough to go to the theater. And then streaming platforms, like in order for us to have a business, like streaming platforms have to license the movies we put out. So I shout this out. It's relevant for the Zombies movie because we're flooded with music stuff that's coming in, like, hey, would you guys want to make a doc about so and so and so and so, or would you want to acquire a movie that was made about this band or this artist? The answer is like yes, 100%. But like we really need our industry to like start to care more about music stories.
Yeah.
And that starts with people. Like I think if people want to watch these movies, like let's say like Hulu or Netflix sees a huge spike in music films being watched, they're going to know that like that's data that's important, and they're going to apply that to acquisitions going forward. They're going to say we need more music docs in this like world. So, and it's a certain kind of doc. Like if there's like a doc about a hip hop artist, that may give the buyer a sense of, oh, we need more like hip hop led films, right? Not just music docs, like stories about hip hop artists. People, kids want to hear it. Like the Wham documentary on Netflix, I think did well for Netflix, and they want more like stories in the 80s, I think, like that, those kinds of big pop 80s stories. But I want to see a wide range of music stories. So how do we get everyone to really care about that? It's just really one release at a time that sort of breaks into new territory. Like if people go and see Hung Up on a Dream in theaters, and we stay in theaters longer because people are going, like the theater will keep us if people go.
Right.
Like no surprise, like tickets are selling, we're keeping the movie.
Right.
So if we can create that kind of a demand, that's going to inspire more movies about bands of this era to be made as well. So
it's so funny you mentioned that, because you guys also acquired Meet Me in the Bathroom, which is the 2000s garage rock movie as well. So it's like, I love that movie, by the way. I had a Sunday.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm happy. I think we're like one of the few distributors really putting muscle behind music films. Like I
also think it's a diverse film. You guys have put out things like The Between Girl and like Meet Me at the World's Fair. That stuff's important.
We're all going to the World's Fair. Yeah,
that stuff's important.
It's great. I mean, you know, Gaspar Noé, Vortex, Holy Spider, Shiva Baby, Sick of Myself, American Dharma. Yeah, I mean, it's like like a ton of Scariest 61st, a lot of big wide range of movies and docs, feature docs and narrative. We're split pretty 50-50.
Right. But it's stuff that nobody's telling, stories nobody's telling, people nobody's hearing from before. And it's really awesome to see that. Unfortunately, we have to let you go, Robert. We were told that was the end of our time.
This is ridiculous.
I can all day.
I agree.
Man, what's up with time, right?
Yeah, it's a construct anyway. It's a construct anyway. So I will say, you guys can check out Hung Up on a Dream, the Zombies documentary, right now in a theater near you. Check the website for potential times. Robert, if people want to reach out to you on the internet, where can they find you if they want to give you a holler?
At Robert Schwartzman. That's my
Pretty
Instagram.
easy.
I mostly it's hard to keep up with every social platform. I feel like a really old person like lately. I remember when I wasn't an old man and social media was just starting, and I was like, you gotta use everything. You gotta stay ahead of it. And so many people older than me felt so out of touch. And now I'm starting to feel that feeling about being out of touch.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I don't get the TikTok, so I get it.
Which, by the way, I just want to thank you for retweeting or reposting a story I did, because I've been to like your show since 2003. I have gone to like all of them. So.
Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll hopefully be out on the road soon. So
hey, awesome. Yeah. I'm in DC though, so
thanks for
we play there.
Thanks for letting us continue to interview you, and I'm looking forward to the future for Utopia, because it's looking real bright, man. Like it's looking real bright. Guys, make sure you check out this movie and any of their other releases that they've done. Just go to utopiadistribution.com to see the films that they've done. There's a ton of them. They're all incredibly good. For Film Snob Reviews, obviously you can reach out to me on all of the social medias at Film Snob Reviews. Make sure you check it out. Robert, thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your day, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll see you on the next one, yeah?
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Bye.
So, guys, thanks for having me.